Good morning, everyone. Good and Erev Shabbos, Friday, January 15th, second day of Shabbat. Kind of a rainy-ish day, going into a rainy-ish Shabbos, but that's not going to dampen the weather inside the shul. We have a lot going on. I hope everybody's going to have a wonderful, peaceful, restful Shabbos. First, I want to wish a very, very happy anniversary to our own Rabbi Isaac and Yael Bernstein, celebrating their fourth wedding anniversary today. We wish them well. They're off this Shabbos, away with family, a very, very well-deserved respite for all the hard work they've been doing here at Shul. So I hope they have an enjoyable time. And also tomorrow, we wish a happy birthday to our Sisterhood President, Jessica Wise. Happy birthday, Jessica, turning 29 years old, finally. Today's Devar Torah is sponsored by Nancy and David Waldenberg. David, on Tuesday, observed the first yahrzeit for his father, Harold Waldenberg, Tzvi Hirsch ben Nassan, and the next day is going to be observing the yahrzeit for his mother, Jeanette Waldenberg, the sixth yahrzeit. If you'll remember or recall, it was, a lot seems like a million years ago, but it was a year ago when David's father died at the age of 99, and 99 years young, by the way, quite a vibrant individual. And it was exactly the day that he was buried, was the same day that his mother was buried in the cemetery. And the yahrzeits are 5 years apart. So actually, David observed the yahrzeit for his mother while he was sitting Shiva for his father, which only spoke to their wonderful connection that they had in their 65 years of marriage, which I recall finally described with a lot of patience. But I know that certainly Harold, he loved coming to our shul. He loved being with his family. We always loved having him, and we certainly miss him. And again, his neshama should have an aliyah, and Jeanette neshama should have an aliyah. Yonina bas Shmuel should have an aliyah. We should only have simchas, and I would like to share a Dvar Torah in their honor and in their memory. So in the parsha, when God is charging Moshe with his mission, and he gives him the four languages of redemption, it's Rosh Chodesh Shvat, which means that we're a month away from Adar, which means we're a month away from Nisan after that. So it's only a month and a half until Purim, 2.5 months till Pesach. I'm just putting that out there, And who knows, maybe with if people get the second doses of the vaccine, maybe we'll be able to have Pesach together with other people. That would be really, really nice. But anyway, now that I've concluded in scaring everyone about Pesach, so we have the four languages of Geula, v'hotzesi, v'hitzalti, v'go'alti, v'lakachti. I will save you, I will take you, redeem you, etc., etc. But there's the fifth language, and it's found in Pasuk Ches in the beginning of our parsha. So I'll read you the Koran translation. I will bring you to the land that I promised to give to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. To you I will give as a possession. I am the Lord. Now, what I want to focus on here, it's a Dvar Torah I heard a number of years ago from Rabbi Shlomo Riskin, and he talks about the difference between Yerusha and Morasha. So we say Morasha. So my kids are very fortunate. They get to go to a wonderful, wonderful summer camp in the mountains, which I hope they'll go back to this summer. Please, please, please. Camp Morasha. And we have the word Morasha, and we have the word Yerusha. Morasha, or Morasha, however you want to pronounce it, depending on what part of Europe you're from, is used only here regarding the land of Israel. And we have another well-known phrase where the word Morasha is used, where we say, Torah tziv holanu Moshe, Morasha kehilas Yaakov. So we use the word Morasha for Torah and for Eretz Yisrael. The word Yerusha, now if I ask you, how do you define the two? So one is, Yerusha is an inheritance, where a person leaves this world and whatever possessions they have, they bequeath to the next of kin. That's called the Yerusha. Parents will often say that, why they, at a late stage in life, why are they buying a new house or a boat or a fancy car or something? They say, I'm just spending the kids' Yerusha. I'm just spending the kids' inheritance. Because after all, they're going to get it anyway, so I might as well enjoy it now. Now, the word for Morasha, so the Koran, they translate it as possession, but it's really much more than that, says Rabbi Riskin. It's really what the word we use is heritage. And if you would look at an English dictionary, there's probably not much difference between the words of heritage and inheritance. They seem somewhat synonymous. However, in Lashon HaKodesh, we use specifically two different words, Yerusha versus Morasha. Because first of all, Yerusha is something that you're going to get no matter what. A person dies and they leave it over. However, Morasha, which is again in the Hifil form, in the causative form, Morasha, you have to cause someone else to get it. It's not a guarantee that just because you have built up a heritage that the next generation is going to get it. And Yerusha usually is something tangible, or it has to be something that you have in hand, and you're going to give it over to the next generation, and they'll get it whether they get it or not. But Morasha, heritage, is not things. It's usually its ideals, its values. And that's why when it talks about Torah, Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, these are ideals, not just things, that just because we have it, we work our whole lives to give it over to the next generation. And that's why we use this very strong term of Morasha. And I'll read you Rabbi Riskin's last line. He says, "The truth is that an inheritance pales in comparison to a heritage. The real question must be, will you only have a transitory inheritance to leave your children, or will you merit bequeathing an eternal heritage?" And these are phrases that we use a lot when we talk about memorial and eternal heritage and etc. And I can't even imagine that when one comes to the position of at the time of year of a yahrzeit, and it's a year of being orphaned, having no parents. And by the way, it doesn't matter how old your parents were when they left this world, you still feel orphaned. I can identify with that now. But losing both parents and thinking to yourself sort of, well, I'm in charge now of my family, and what is it that I have to give over to the next generation? What values from them am I going to transfer through me to the next generation? Well, I know Nancy and David well and their family, and I am certain that the values of hard work and tradition and loving family and dedication and loyalty, all of those true Torah values which they receive from their parents are certainly giving over to their children. And I know for a fact that it's not Yerusha. We're not talking about things. We're not talking about a business. We're not talking about stuff. But we're talking about these true values, Morasha, a heritage. And indeed, David, I've seen how much he's like his father and his brothers, how they got that from their father, how you've taken those values and given it over to the next generation. And I can only also sort of commiserate with you and express first of all, our heartfelt condolences at this point of understanding the loss, but more importantly, that during the year that for so long, because of the pandemic, that you were unable to say Kaddish, and we said it on your behalf. I'm sure that only adds layers to the complication of what this year was. But in the end of the day, David always, like his father, like his mother, always a chipper attitude. Comes to our shir every Tuesday, and always with his big hello. Nobody has a great voice like that. But your parents, Jeanette and Harold, as we have their plaques lit in our shul, but more importantly, the lights of their tradition, they glow within you and within your family. So in this week, in this Shabbos, which lands in between the two yahrzeits, may their neshamas have an aliyah. Again, Yonina Bas Shmuel, Tzvi Hirsch Ben Nassan, Jeanette and Harold Waldenberg, their neshama should have an aliyah, and you should only celebrate simchas, and we should remember that we work our whole lives not to give stuff to our children. That stuff, that will happen, it will happen, won't happen, we worry about it, whatever. More importantly is, we have to give values, we have to give heritage, we have to give something of real lasting substance. And if we can do that, we can learn the example that we learned from the Waldenbergs, then we'll all be in good stead. And indeed, God promises, Morasha Kehilas Yaakov, this will be the heritage of the family of Jacob. This is what we work for, this is what we kill ourselves for our whole lives. For these values of Yiddishkeit, of Jewish continuity, of understanding real meaning, of morality, all of these things, that's true Morasha. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Shabbos, a Shabbos where we can appreciate time together with family and really appreciate the values that we were given and hopefully continue to strive to continue and convey those values over to our next generations. Again, may the neshamas have an aliyah. Have a wonderful Shabbos, everyone.